We may as well kick off with Origin. New South Wales 26 defeated Queensland 0 to make the aggregate 76-6 so far over 160 minutes. Barney, we'll have a look at this game first. Do you want to run through the stats?
Yeah, of course. So we had 0 tries for Queensland and 4 for New South Wales. 4 out of 4 conversions and 1 out of 1 penalty goals. 83% completion from the Queenslanders, actually, which was better than New South Wales, 77%. They had 34 out of 41 sets, and we had 34 out of 44. There's some big difference in the running meters with the 1,526 for Queensland and 1,907 for New South Wales. 1 line break to 7, 37 tackle busts to 49 for New South Wales, 10 offloads to 12, 1 forced dropout for Queensland, 2 for New South Wales, 0 40-20s, 380 tackles played, 363, 3 ruck infringements from Queensland, none from New South Wales, 2 inside the 10s to 5, 2 penalties conceded by Queensland and 6 by New South Wales, 12 errors to 9. Kaufusi made 38 tackles, Yeo with 45, Catewell with 181 running meters, Teddy with 234. Gagai missed 9 tackles, Capewell missed 6, Munster and Welsh missed 7 apiece. Paulo actually missed 6 and only made 19, and Cleary missed 6 as well. But the New South Wales back 5 made over 100 metres again. Teddy and Tur'o with 200 plus running metres. And yeah, there was 9 players in the Queensland side to run over 100 metres compared to 7 from the Queensland side.
I think all of the back 4 ran over 170 metres. I think Latrell and Tommy both were 175, 176 and 180. What can you say about where to for now? They're just a better team the year, probably next year as well. They've got strike all over the park. Every one of the back 5 is a superstar. And what more can you add, Barney? What do you make of the game?
Yeah, well, the first 2 sets, I was sort of on the edge of my seat, actually. I thought, here comes Queensland with that fire and brimstone that they normally start Origin with. And it was sort of back to that, the way that Origin does normally start. It wasn't the backs taking it up, it was the forwards. And Saifiti got smashed in the first one. And Arrow and Papali were shooting out of the line, putting on a few big shots. And they sort of won the first couple of sets. Yardage game, Queensland were getting on top. And then after about 3 sets, New South Wales just clicked into gear, and then I sat back in my seat, and it was nice and comfortable for the next 70 minutes or so. I haven't had that feeling for about 15 years, to be honest, watching Origin. I'm pretty much every year sitting on the edge of the seat, worried that Queensland, as they continually did, either come back and got us or just dominated from the start to the end of the game. But it was a good one, man. I really enjoyed watching this game, actually. I thought it was a pretty complete performance out of New South Wales.
Ollie?
Well, I have to sort of echo Barney's sentiments, because at full time, I just sort of sat there and I thought, I don't really feel excited. And usually whenever the New South Wales win the series, at least obviously I was alive for the 3 that they won in a row in 03 to 05, but I was very young. So I remember 14, 18, 19, I was ecstatic after each game where it was confirmed that we'd won the series. But after this one, I was just sort of sitting there, I was thinking, why don't I feel that excitement? And then it dawned on me, I was like, well, this is the expectation, isn't it? And it is going to be for, I'd say, the next 3 to 5 years based on how these squads are shaping up to be. And it's not really anything Queensland can control. It's really New South Wales have just had the better crop of young players coming through the past few years, and they're reaping the rewards of it. Unless like a Reece Walsh or a Sam Walker turns out to be an absolute superstar. I'm talking both those guys and a couple of other young players come through. I'm not saying New South Wales win the next 5 series, although they could, but they will certainly win at least 3 of them. I'm saying the majority, and they will be the favourites heading into each year. But yeah, what more can you say, really? It's the back 5 was starring again. I think Brian Toto ran for over 200 metres again, so another day at the office for him. But yeah, it's just pure domination, and I can't see Queensland really coming back from this. I think it's probably the most likely of a 3-0 series that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's well, I know this is always cyclical, and I think someone put out the other day sort of the under 24 Queensland side, and when you think that they've got or who I think is the Australian hooker to come back. Sam Walker, Reece Walsh, maybe a Jaden Campbell, maybe obviously Ponga as well. So there's a whole spine there that can come back into it. Fodawake is only 21. It's not doom and gloom. It's going to be probably doom for the next 3 years, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel if you're a Queensland fan. But
I love a defensive centre.
They need two. Honestly,
Hey, sold the Titans.
we did flag exactly what the concern was, and that's what they didn't change, and it's what the concern is going to be in 2 weeks' time as well. So I don't know what can change from that point of view, unless they do go with the Will Chambers, who apparently was on the radar until he's a couple of ordinary efforts late in that Cronulla game.
His defense hasn't been great since coming back either, though, to be honest.
That's right. And there's not a lot else around. Like, I know there's an Opachic's probably the last of an empty barrel, and I don't think he's going to stop Tommy Turbo the way he's playing at the moment. So it is what it is. Latrell was fantastic. I was so happy after that try. It was one of the happiest I've been seeing anyone not wearing an orange and black jersey score for a long time. And I don't even know why. I think it's just the fact that he's still holding on to the fact that he should be in a 3X jersey and he's still wearing the XL. I like that. A man after my own heart. And just seen him stream away and score. But he was absolutely outstanding again. And what probably didn't get the reps was his defense. A couple of defensive decisions were tremendous. He put a couple of blokes on their ass early. There was one great cover tackle he made throughout the game, and
he put Gagai into touch. He put a couple of blokes back into their own in goal to force dropouts.
You can see he's really made a point of just wanting to own
one-on-one strips.
Yeah. Oh, the strength of the one-on-one strips. That's now two games in a row he's done that.
I think Adrian's frozen on us.
It does look like it.
It does look like it.
But he's been outstanding. I thought he was tremendous again. I liked that Teddy looked like he set out from the first minute to sort of stamp the game after all the chatter of the other two after game one.
I was gonna ask that. Do you think that might have been a bit because of he wasn't ordinary in the game one, but nobody spoke about him at all, and everyone was revving up all the other fullbacks that were in the team.
I don't know if it was all. Obviously, it's Teddy, so you can't say it was all that, but he. You could see there was clear intent to be involved early.
He seemed to have a point to improve, didn't he?
Definitely.
He was super involved, and that flick pass to put Addo-Carr away, that was a piece of brilliance. That was a lovely bit of play.
Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on about the game?
Oh, it was glaringly obvious that Queensland's attack was just slow and disorganised. Like there was nobody there organised. The best they looked was when Hunt come on and seemed to sort of take control a little bit there.
Yeah.
At different times at the back of the game. Their only real option was the only time they looked threatening was when they bombed to Kyle Felt. And To'o just scrapped and fought so hard to try to stop them from getting, what I mean? He's just stopping in their way, getting in underneath them, getting over the top of them, grabbing at the ball, trying to pull it out of their arms. He did an awesome job considering how, the height disadvantage that he does have out there under that high ball. But in New South Wales, they look quick. Their play was quick. I like the way that Luai changed the tempo a lot of the time when he had the ball. He would slow the game down by sort of dragging it out and throwing a slow cutout ball, or he'd pick up the pace and run himself and have other people coming off him. I thought the way that the two halves combined was brilliant again. Fifita to only get one tackle bust in the entire game. Like, I know that he only had about 10 or 11 runs, but the way that Murray in particular and Tommy Turbo just rushed out of the line, took his time away from him, and they didn't try to take the ball. They just chopped his legs out.
Yeah.
And they did it time and time again and just dropped him straight away as soon as he got anywhere near the line. Well, that was enormous as well. And Isaiah, he's gone to a completely different level. He was playing 7 there at times. When Cleary was under pressure, he was jumping in and it puts Queensland in two minds whether he's going to run or pass, because he could quite easily do both. And he had him rattled at different stages there when he started to take control as well. So
is he now the best lock in the game?
Yeah,
you'd have to be close.
Yeah.
Murray'd probably be, if you're playing Murray at lock, he'd be close as well. But yeah, I thought he was super special.
I want to mention, actually, I want to mention Cam Murray. I thought his footwork was tremendous. A couple of times where he just took that extra step to isolate and make sure there was that overlap. I
Yep.
think one where he dropped it. No, there's one where it was through the hands and he sort of put it down where they would have scored. And
Yeah, he
there's
bombed a
another
couple.
one, but I wish he would have been even better. But the way he isolated Tommy on the defender to then have Tommy just put Adokara down the sideline that was all him, and I thought that was tremendous. And I want to mention, I know I rap him a lot lately. He's somehow become one of my favorite players. But Angus Crichton, when he came on, he was great. He really, he was Angus Crichton. And I think even just looking at the stats, I think it's pretty clear if Jake Turbo's back for game 3, who Freddie's probably going to lean with, staying in that team. I think Liam Martin had a quiet game by his standards, and that's not a knock. He just didn't get a chance to get involved as much. He ended up playing, I think he played close to half an hour, but we didn't see a lot of him. Enjoyable game, outstanding game. It'll be 3-0. And I just like watching the best players in the world play with each other, basically.
Queensland's best two were probably their front rowers, I think. Welsh and Papali were probably the best 2 players for the Queensland team. Yeah. And Arrow, I thought, was pretty good as well. But there's just no direction out of that side. It was confusing, actually, considering that DCE is generally pretty good at getting a team around the field.
Is that a missing Harry Grant thing? Is it or are they're just leaderless at the moment? And it sounds like they're the DCE and Cam Munster are on the same page anyway. Yeah,
well, Munster generally plays on the back of broken field play or up tempo footy. So if he's not getting that, it's and you can see when he gets frustrated, he doesn't know what to do, and he just seems to make things worse. He starts sort of panicking and trying to speed up the play even more, and it causes more problems than what it does. You know, you need someone to sort of grab him and go piss off out the back.
Yeah,
for a little bit, and I'll get us around the field for 10 minutes, and then you can come back and try and play. But I don't know where they go from here.
At least there's probably that 20-minute period in the second half where at least Munster just decided, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to be the one that tries here.
Get involved. Yeah,
I think, and Ollie, we've talked about this. I just think he's a little bit down on form himself, and it's frustrations not helping.
It's been all year. I don't know what it's been with him. Like, take out the kicks, take out the quote unquote grubby plays. He's just not been as good this year. Jerome Hughes, arguably one of the best players in the competition this year, period. He's up there. If a Cleary and a Travojevic weren't having career best seasons, then maybe he'd be in the conversation a bit more. But he's been amazing. And I've been thinking how much has that impacted Cameron Munster's influence on the Melbourne Storm. And obviously it does have a bit of an impact when one of the halves are being so dominant and playing so well for the whole season. But still, when you're the Australian 5'8", and we know how good Munster can be, he still should be getting in there and having a bit more of an impact on the Melbourne Storm than he has been. I guess in a way as well, it's just a bit lucky that Hughes has been having such a good season too. But yeah, I don't know what's to go with Cam Munster. I mean, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but it seems like ever since at the start of the year, he came out and said that if the Brisbane expansion team offered him a contract, he'd take it. We've not seen him play too well at Melbourne, so I don't know if he miffed some people off with those comments and is now not as happy at Melbourne, and it's reflecting in his rugby league, and might be why he's lashing out a bit as well. Who knows?
I don't know. It's sad. I think he just, I don't want to say spoke without thinking, but probably just was honest more than anything. Yeah, probably he'd be quite happy to go and get $1 million to play for as a franchise player somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying he shouldn't have said that or anything. I'm saying maybe that there were people within Melbourne who weren't too happy with those comments for whatever reason. But, yeah.
Fair enough. So just to touch on the rest of we've got to do our Ollie Lewis, I suppose. Interesting 3 and 2. Barney, I had Latrell at 3 and Teddy at 2, but we can flip it either way. And
same. And I had Yo for the 1.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I had the exact same.
Cool. There it is.
Yeah.
3 to Latrell, 2 to Teddy, 1 to Isaiah Yo, which gets I guess Latrell will be very hard to catch.
Did he get 3 points last time, or did Turbo?
Can't remember now.
GT?
I'm sure it was Latrell
I think, yeah, Latrell might be a clean sweep so far.
One thing I do love about this side is that arrogance that they're building. They just do not give a fuck who they're playing against. They're just mouthing off all night, pointing, laughing, high five and backslapping. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's about time Queensland got some back. They've
Yeah,
been doing it for 10 years.
And the rest of New South Wales were pretty cocky as well. Sorry, I thought you were just talking about Jerome Luai there.
No, all the boys. But he was the leader.
Well, yeah, someone who's, as Barney did, clearly remembers, 10 years of Thurston and Cronk and Inglis and Slater and Smith and
Chambers.
Gagai and Chambers and everyone else. I am not upset at all by enjoying it this year.